What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Jay, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Today I'm hitting you guys with an overdue list for the cooler air, cooler time of the year. Actually, one of my favorite times of the year, to keep it a buck, coming down here to the south. Before that, the majority of my fragrance collection was geared for the cooler weather, so I didn't really have a whole bunch of freshies. I guess where I'm from, they basically say we get about 100 days of summer, so never got rid of my overcoats, never got rid of my scullies and scarves and all of that. So this is actually a video that I really like to make, and I tried to make sure that the last video I made last year around this time, Cool Weather Stunners, didn't have anything that was actually overlapping. So if you're interested in the fragrances that I feel will definitely cut through the cold air for this cooler season that we are in right now, keep it locked. And if it's your first time here, welcome. If it's your second time here or more, hit the like button. All right, so yeah, man, super excited to actually do this list. I got 10 fragrances here, with one actually including one of the fragrances including two honorable mentions, because it's a little bit difficult to find. You can still find it, but the two honorable mentions are readily available. But without any further ado, man, let's just hop right into it. All right, we kicking it off with the house of Nishane. This is actually a recent addition to my collection. Within the last month, I did one of my discovery videos where I smelled a fragrance, or multiple really, for the first time, and this was Love at First Sniff, and this is Ani X. Okay, never even smelled the original Ani, but this one right here got me from the jump. Lemon, bergamot, cardamom, green apple, patchouli, rose, vanilla, musk. This, they say, is like Ani with a little bit of lemon, but to me, I'm definitely getting a lemon, vanilla-y, not too sweet. It's not gourmandish to me, because I really don't like gourmands, especially if you follow my channel. This is very smooth. It's actually very sexy, extremely versatile, might be one of the most versatile on this list, and an all year round fragrance. This is a stunner, man. Teetering on the edge of gourmand, which is why I would not actually recommend this one as a blind buy. But if you like the notes of lemon, vanilla, musk, and cardamom, smoothing this out, this is actually really good. So it is versatile, but I would really want to wear this one dressed up. This is something I would wear when I would actually want to make a statement, okay? So as far as performance, I easily got 6 to 8 hours of performance on this one, but the projection on this one is only about like 2 hours. So but try and keep this video a little bit short today and not ramble on. But if you like those aforementioned notes, this is one at least get a sample of, okay? Because it is blended to perfection. From the house of Nishane, man, this is a win. Again, Love at First Sniff. This is Ani X. Can't make a cold weather list, man, and not have this hitter on there, man. We sliding over to the house of Givenchy, man, and this is Gentleman, the Eau de Parfum, and this is Reserve Privee, okay? Bergamot, iris, whiskey, and amber. What a win. This is another one that was Love at First Sniff. Got a lot of hype last year, or the ending of the year previous to that. This whole house is actually kind of hitting to me, but in the winter or the cooler air, this is the one I actually go to. Powdery, boozy, woody, nutty, dark, sexy, slightly sweet. This is date night all over it, okay? You could wear this one to the office and get away with it. I feel like you might be doing a little bit too much, but this is, when I think about the cooler weather, especially on a designer side, this is one of the first ones that actually pops up in my head, okay? Performance, you're getting an easy 6 to 7 hours out of this. And honestly, as far as projection, you're getting a good 3 to 4 to maybe even 5 hours. So overall, this is just a win. I'm gonna say this is almost a 10 out of 10. It's definitely a 9.5 out of 10, especially for designer prices too. This is a win right here. So if you haven't actually smelled this one, this is one that, I mean, you know what I'm gonna say? On the cooler weather side, and if you're into designers, this is one that all men must own in their collection. From the house of Givenchy, this is Reserve Privee, the Eau de Parfum. Keeping it pushing, man, sliding over to the house of Dior with another hitter. Jesus. All right, we talk about Dior Homme Parfum, okay? Iris, leather, orange, sandalwood, oud, and musk. This is like thick, rich, and elegant. So if you like Dior Homme Intense, I think that you will like this one, okay? So I feel like the iris is just a slightly toned down, but they definitely sprinkled in some of that leather to basically just make it a little bit more bold and slightly mature, okay? I personally believe, and you know, I don't like redundancy in my collection, that this is one where I feel like you can actually have both, because these don't smell exactly the same. There definitely is a difference in between the two. And personally, I want to own both. Actually, I do. Sexy and alluring, definitely on your grown man with this one right here. Again, when I even thought about the original title of this video, be it overcoat season, this is something that I immediately thought of because of the fact that this is 100% pushing through the cold air, okay? So performance on this one, you're gonna get an easy 6 to 7 hours, okay? And the projection on this one is gonna be about 3 to 4. So I wouldn't necessarily say that this one is for the younger set, maybe, you know, 26, 27 and below. But if you're in tune with your star player, you can definitely get away with it. But this one right here, I feel like is definitely for potentially like 30 plus. And I personally feel like females could actually get away with rocking this one right here. So if you haven't smelled it, I do know it's sometimes a little bit difficult to find. Get your nose on Dior Homme Parfum, okay? This is a 100% win, and definitely for true fragrance connoisseurs. Okay, sliding over to the house of Dolce & Gabbana. This is actually a 10 out of 10 for multiple reasons, okay? And I will list them in a moment. I am talking about the limited edition Luminous Night, okay? Black pepper, bergamot, dates, amber, incense, and sandalwood, okay? This is how you do a flanker. So this flanker was my intro into Middle Eastern style fragrances. I hadn't actually smelled anything like this before. I didn't know that that's where this was actually going when I was actually purchasing this fragrance. So I did not smell a sample. This actually was a blind buy, and probably one of the top 10 blind buys I basically ever had. But the reason I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10 is because on the flanker side, it does not smell anything really remotely close to the original, okay? And on top of that, we all know about the original, which I love. The fragrance community loves it. The thing is, it doesn't perform. This one is a beast. Super seductive and sexy, okay? I wait all year in order to wear this fragrance. This one actually blows the original, the one out of the water. So let me just say a few things. So first of all, if you haven't actually smelled any of these Middle Eastern style fragrances, most of the time they are room fillers, okay? And to me, you know, I've smelled total maybe about 5 or 6, but you know, could just be me. I feel like a lot of them sort of have a very, very, very similar smell. There are some very small differences in between them. So for that reason, I actually haven't bought a lot of the Middle Eastern style fragrances, but I've given you 2 alternatives that basically I will be buying as soon as I run out of this bottle. So the first honorable mention in this, you know, Middle Eastern style fragrance category is going to be Paramour from the house of Oman Luxury. Amazing fragrance. Love at first sniff for me. It's a little bit sweeter. It's got raspberry, rose, and tonka bean. Amazing replacement, okay? But again, for me in particular, it's just a little bit too close to, you know, again, this Luminous Night, so I hadn't actually purchased it yet. But when I run out of this bottle, it's gonna be between that one and the next one I'm gonna mention that I'll be purchasing next. All right, second honorable mention is going over to the house of the Merchant of Venice, and that is Arabesque. Listen, had I smelled Arabesque before I actually purchased the Luminous Night, Arabesque will be on this video right now, okay? It is the smoothest, creamiest Middle Eastern style fragrance that I've ever smelled to date. Now, I know there's a gang of them out there. Like I said, I haven't tried all of them, but this is one with the plum, ginger, and tonka. This is an amazing fragrance. So honestly, it's a toss-up between Arabesque or Paramour, but they're both excellent alternatives if you cannot actually get your hands on one of these bottles or want to pay what, you know, the premium is for it right now because it's a little bit limited edition. So going back to this Luminous Night, As far as performance, another reason I gave it a 10 out of 10 is this one is performing an easy 10 out of 12 hours. You're gonna smell this one on your clothes the next day. And no lie, you're getting 7 to 8, 7 to 9 hours out of projection on this one, right? So this isn't one like the original one, you know, you gotta spray the whole bottle on you in order for, you know, your partner next to you to smell it. This is one right here where you really wanna take it easy, okay? So 3 to 4 sprays max of this one, and I would actually wait before you walk into a closed space if you're doing that. Sliding over to the house of Tom Ford. Probably see where I'm going with this one by the gold bottle, fingerprint magnet. We're talking about Noir Extreme, and this is the Parfum, okay? Love at first sniff, blew me away the first time I smelled the original. Cardamom, ginger, mandarin orange, coffee, rose, tonka bean, and leather. This is arguably one of the top 2 or 3 sexiest fragrances on this list. This is a compliment monster. I think that's the first time I've said that on this actual video, but it's true. Okay, so they did what they were supposed to do as far as basically amping this one up compared to the original. They kicked up the performance, they kicked up the projection on this one, and it's definitely pushing through the cold air. So this is perfect for the current season that we're in. Another one that I just, for me personally, based on where I live, I can't wait to pull out because it's not something you can really wear in like the summer or the spring, but come fall and winter, you can definitely pull this one out. And keeping it a buck, it's sexy, but it is kind of versatile, okay? So this one isn't really punching you in the face while it's performing. So I'm gonna be honest, I feel like you could actually wear this one to the office. I wouldn't overspray it, but this is one that you could get away with for that. And definitely date night, definitely anything Netflix and chill, close encounter all day long. So if you haven't smelled this one, man, I mean, I don't know what you're waiting on. The hype is real on this one, and I would say that you could just jump straight to the Parfum version and just leave you know, the original where it's at, because this one is going to give you the performance that you're looking for. Obligatory, man. Y'all knew it was coming, man. We going over to the house of Viktor and Rolf, and let me just make sure I get this in the camera, man. This is Spicebomb Extreme, man. Y'all know I had to get this one in this list, man. Vanilla, tobacco, whiskey, saffron, and cinnamon. This was innovative at the time. I remember when the original first came out, I didn't necessarily like that one. Oh Fresh came out. I still think that's #1 in the line, and they discontinued it. And this came out and completely blew me away. I feel like this fragrance is so good, which I don't get a chance to say often. I feel like this one is actually going to be timeless, okay? I still feel like in 10 years from now, this is gonna be a fragrance that will still be around and people will still turn heads. Spicy vanilla, slightly boozy fragrance. This just goes crazy. There is nothing in my collection that actually smells like this, okay? Super, super unique, and truthfully, this is why I actually got in this game, for fragrances like this, which is why I keep sampling, which is why there's more sample videos on my fragrance channel than list videos, because I'm always on a hunt for something like this. Exuding sex, okay? This is one of those fragrances that this is gonna take you where you wanna go. And it's beast mode. Okay, so you will easily smell this on your clothes the next day, and you're easily getting 7 to 8 hours of basically projection on this one. Do not overspray this fragrance. I will tell you that. It works, but you don't want to overdo it, okay? So this is definitely one of those fragrances. It can definitely blow up on you if you overspray it, because you will like it that much, okay? So be easy on the trigger. I'm gonna keep it a little bit light on this one because I know it's been hyped for a while. This is an amazing fragrance if you've never smelled it. And truthfully, it's only this one in the line, or Eau Fraiche, if you can find it, that you need to get. The rest you can just throw out the window. From the house of Viktor and Rolf, yo, this is Spicebomb Extreme. You definitely need to smell this. Headed over to the house of Boss, man. This is Boss Bottled Elixir. My first Boss fragrance since probably 1996, 97, and what a phenomenal fragrance, okay? This actually made my top fragrance picks of 2024 that I picked up so far. Frankincense, cardamom, patchouli, and cedar. Didn't know what I was really actually expecting when I got this fragrance, but I'll tell you one thing, it's a win. dark, seductive, warm, and spicy. This is actually going down the path of almost one of those like Middle Eastern style fragrances, okay? To be 100% honest with you here. Again, I did not know what to expect when I actually purchased this one, but this one right here really blew me away. It's gonna have me diving deeper into the Boss house. So I actually got some samples on the way of others, but this one right here is designed specifically for the cooler weather, okay? So again, the fall, winter. This is one that I feel like does perform, so I would not wear this one to the office. Like I said, those Middle Eastern style fragrances, I just think they're a little bit too pungent for you to actually get into an environment like that. So I personally would save this for something like, again, you know, going out, date night, the streets, or maybe a close encounter with that special someone. But the office, this one isn't necessarily built for that one. But on the performance side, another one that you're getting a good 6 to 8 hours of performance and an easy 5 to 6 hours of basically like projection on this one. So go easy on the trigger with this one as well, which is why I label it as a phenomenal fragrance, because of the performance. I didn't expect this from the House of Boss either, to be honest. I expected something including that what is the note that they use, that Maninka fruit, which I didn't see that one listed in this one. So to kind of revamp and actually come out with this one was a win. So I got my eye on this house. So if you actually haven't smelled this one, this is one that is definitely going to surprise you. From the House of Boss, this is bottled Elixir, man. This is a win. And again, you talk about designer for designer prices. And let me just hop on here and say real quick in regards to any of these Middle Eastern style fragrances. If you are, not a fan of anything smelling like incense, stay away. Okay, so that is damn near kind of like a base note within these fragrances. Okay, so that's really what is, like the common denominator amongst them all. So if you're not really feeling that, definitely stay away. Getting close to the end of the list, and this has got to be one of my top 3 favorites on this list today, and I'm talking about from the House of Parfums, the Marley. This is Carlisle. How sexy is this? Have you smelled this fragrance? Nutmeg, saffron, tonka bean, rose, patchouli, and vanilla. Dark, sexy, mysterious, tobacco frag. This was my second purchase from the Parfum de Marly house, and this actually was a blind buy and a win. Love it first sniff when I did actually pull this one out the box and spray it for the first time, and also one that I wait all year round to wear because unfortunately this is just not one that you can really wear in the high heat or the humidity. But between this and Herod, I would say Herod before reformulation might just slightly be above this one, but to me at this point, Carlisle is basically the go-to for me from the House of Parfums de Marly during the cooler months. Okay, so this one is almost obligatory as well as far as getting on the list. And the reason for that is because of performance. This one actually definitely gives you a good 8 to 10 hours as well as performance. And truthfully for me, I get about a good 4 to 6 hours of projection from this fragrance. The other thing is it's super versatile. You're not choking anybody out with this fragrance. So you can kind of keep this one with you and, re-spritz or something throughout the day. You're not gonna really choke anybody out at all. And you can wear this one anywhere. So for me, you can actually pull this one off to the office. And I would tell you if I feel like you might be doing a little bit too much. But for this one right here, this is just a sexy fragrance that I feel like almost like the aforementioned fragrance that I said that, every man should own this collection, that Reserve Privee coming from the house of Givenchy. If you like tobacco fragrances, a little bit smoother, a little bit of spice and stuff that smell quality, this is definitely one that's at least worth a sample. From the House of Parfums de Marly, this is Carlisle, man. Again, obligatory, man. Had to make the list. Almost to the end of the list, man. We going over to the House of Bvlgari, man. This is actually one of my favorites as well. Everything on this list I love, man. But this one is really, to me, it's supremely underrated. And I know that they've come out with the Parfum now to bump up the performance. But again, I'm still in love with this one. This is Man in Black, okay? Rum, tobacco, leather, iris, tonka bean, and benzoin. This is a stunner right here. Hold on. Come on, man. Alberto Marias, come on, man. Get with the program. Spicy, slightly sweet, dark, tobacco-y, amber type fragrance. In that realm of like tobacco-y type fragrances, this one is actually still standing on its own, okay? So still very, very unique. And I know it's been a little bit of hate as far as the performance, which is why I'm sure they probably came up with that Parfum, which I haven't smelled yet, so I don't want to talk about that one because that one might eliminate this one. But I still don't think this isn't like Dolce & Gabbana, the one where you can't smell it at all. It just doesn't really necessarily last as long. So I'm gonna give y'all that. The performance on this one, you might only get like 4 to 6 hours on this one, and this was definitely going to be more of a skin scent within 2 to 3 hours. I will give you that, but it's for designer prices, and it still smells very, very good, and it is still cutting through the cold air. So for me, this is still a win. I own it. Eventually, I probably will get the Parfum because I really do like that as well, but highly underrated. If you're into, you know, this is along the lines of like, you know, the Harrods or the Carlisles or some of those type fragrances. It's kind of sweet, soft, tobacco-y type fragrances. You can't hate on this one right here, man. From the house of Bvlgari Man, the Man in Black. This probably can be interchangeable with the newest release, which is the Parfum. But this one right here, you still cannot go wrong. Get a sample. Last but definitely not least, I'm going over to the house of Argos, man, and this is gonna be Triumph of Bacchus, man. I'm just saying it just because it's my channel and, you know, based on what I've encountered this year and I'm on my own journey, Argos to me has been the house of the year, man. Still going through their catalog, and it's just been a lot of gems, man, and I'm not done, man. And this one in particular, we got rum, peach, saffron, tonka bean, patchouli, tobacco, vanilla, and musk. Super unique fragrance that I'm not saying surprisingly like it's trash and it shouldn't get it. I just didn't think this fragrance would get as many compliments as it actually does. This is a thick, heavy, kind of sweet, boozy, woody fragrance that this is actually a conversation starter. That's literally what this fragrance is. I will say too that you could actually wear this one to the office, okay? I wouldn't actually overspray this one, but I personally probably would, you know, rock this one on some, you know, date night, trying to close a deal, Netflix and chill, close encounter for sure. Definitely, again, for the season that we're in. But you could actually rock this one to the office and not offend anybody. But you're definitely gonna turn some heads with this fragrance, and the performance on this one is just there, man. So again, part of the reason why I was saying this is actually part of my, they are probably gonna be the house of the year because I've been getting through that Sacred Flame sample that they also sent with this when I ordered it, and both of them had been about 8 to 10 hours of performance and a good 4 to 6 hours as far as projection as well too. So I don't have anything in my collection that has rum and peach. It's some of the notes, like a combination of that. I mean, again, that right there alone, which is what kind of drew me to it, was just something that is just, this is blended to perfection, and it smells of high quality. Plus, like I said, I like the presentation, and if you're a person that likes to actually, you know, put your fragrances on display, this actually helps as well too. Okay, so from the house of Argos, man, this is Triumph of Bacchus. I'm not done with this house, but this is one that 100%, man, if you're into anything kind of thick, heavier, sweet, woody, maybe a hint of tobacco for this season, something you definitely got to get your nose on, and also others from the house, man, because I know based on chatter that there's more from them. That's it, man. All gas, no brakes, man. I appreciate all of y'all making it to the end of this video with me today, man. Pretty much all heat on this video, man. Super fun making it. And again, man, if y'all got any benefit from this content today, please do consider liking and subscribing. And you already know I'm gonna see you in the next video.